So coming to the top of the mat as soon as you're ready. Big toes touching, heels separated, closing down the eyes. Flooding the breath into the body. And just taking a moment to really feel what is right in this moment. Noticing what feels right in our bodies as we greet a new day consciously. Please release your hands, open your eyes, and as we warm the body, just patiently moving into these postures. Exhale, bend your knees as much as you need into your first forward fold. Either hands to shins or fingertips to floor, flat back extension. And exhale and refold. Let's do 2 more of these. So exaggerating the length as we maintain the lift of the abdominals. Exhale, softening into the hamstrings, the lower back. One more time, lift, lengthen before stepping or hopping. And let's land our knees and just travel halfway towards the earth on a chaturanga. Take a baby cobra, lift the head of the shoulders, squeeze the elbows back. Take one more breath here. Before we all move into child's pose, knees wide, big toes together. Spreading the fingers, lengthening through the arms as much as you can. And then please walk your hands over to the left side of the mat, opening up through the right side of the torso. Just 2 more breaths. Feeling the lungs expanding, the ribs expanding, and the tension dissolving. We'll ease our way back to the midline, and we'll tuck the toes as we ripple our way into a downward facing dog. Bending your knees as much as you need. Your heels are disappearing behind your toes. And if we look at our hands, the hands are shoulder distant. We're pressing back, but we're not dumping through the rib cage. We're maintaining the lift of the abdominals. Please lift through your left leg, but keep your pelvis level. And I only want you to lift to the point where you feel just a gentle increase in sensation through your right hamstring and calf. Gazing at your right big toe. Just one more deep, beautiful breath in and out. We'll rise to the tips of our right toes. Look towards your left pinky finger and step your hand there as you release your knee and your toes through the right. We'll turn the left foot out. We'll take our left hand to our left thigh and create a little bit of rotation to open up through the side of the body. If it feels good, rolling to the pinky toe side of your foot. But once again, please don't sacrifice the strength and the stability of your spine or the quality of your breathing. Just one more full deep breath in. And on the exhalation, ground your hands, tuck your back toes, lift through your back knee. And once again, child's pose, please. Knees wide, big toes together before we ease our way over to the other side. So right hand beside the right knee to stabilize and to give us a little bit more support. And then exaggerate the opening through the left side of the torso. Just one more deep, expansive breath. Before we come back towards the midline, we'll ease our way forward, tuck our toes, propel the hips high, gazing between our feet or our knees. So the heels are lining up with the toes and we're squeezing towards the midline. We're pressing into our hands, but we're gripping with our fingers as the thumbs squeeze towards the midline. Ready? So lifting through your right leg any amount that feels good, but the pelvis is level. And we are seeking a gentle stretch through the left calf hamstring. We'll rise to our left tiptoes. We'll look at our right pinky fingers, stepping through. Release your left knee, release your left toes. And then turning the torso as you bring your right hand to your right thigh. So spiraling through the spine, but maintaining connection through the core stabilizers, your abdominals, and through your hip stabilizers, your left glutes. A little rain begins to fall as we take 2 more breaths. Returning your eyes, returning your hand, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step one last time to your downward facing dog. So feel the strength in the shape. We don't want to dump through the shoulders or through the lower back, so we're maintaining the scooping of the abdominals and the lifting of the pelvic floor. On your next in-breath to the tips of your toes, bend your knees, look where you're going. Walking or hopping, we'll lift and lengthen before easing our way into our forward fold. Energize, rising. How tall could you grow as you look at your thumbs? Releasing hands home to your heart center. So building a flow, we'll circle and sweep together. On the exhalation, consciously moving into your forward fold, releasing your head and shoulders last. On the in-breath, lifting through the head, lifting through the heart, before stepping your right leg way back. And I'd like for you to pivot your right heel as if you're preparing for warrior 2. So taking a moment to check that your heels are lining up, your spine is long, your knee is right above your ankle, and the core is engaged. Left hand to your left thigh, and on your inhalation, reach all the way up and over towards the back of your mat. Breathing in, circling the arm to the front. Breathing out, reach for the back of the room. One more time, breathe in, breathe out. And this time as we reach forward, pausing to lift through your back heel and ground through your right hand. Spiral your torso towards your left thigh, reaching high with your left hand if your shoulder will allow. Just stay and breathe for 3. One more breath before turning your eye gaze to the floor. Variation 1, we're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. In variation 2, I'd love for you to lengthen through your left leg as the breath floods in, and then exhale to rebend. So just moving through a modified pyramid with rotation, and then lowering again through the knee. One more time, full breath in. And on the exhalation, we'll all land the hands to the inside of the left foot, pivoting all the way to the back of your mat for Skandasana. Once we've arrived here safely, we're pressing dynamically into the pinky toe side of the foot. And I'd like for you to loop your right hand into the curve of your lower back and just create a little bit of rotation here. So powerful through your left leg, grounding into the left hand, and turning towards your right for 3 more breaths. One more breath in before releasing both hands. Turn to the back end of your mat, and it's a 3-legged chaturanga that we're heading to. So we lift through the right leg, and let's just stay here for a moment to find our alignment. So squaring through the pelvis, pressing through the right foot, gazing at the left big toe. And on your next inhalation, lift to the tips of the toes, shift the shoulders over the wrist. Exhale to lower any amount you can, and then come straight back up before releasing your foot to the mat. We come to bear pose. We're just hovering our knees above the earth, stacking our shoulders with our wrists and our hips with our knees. Taking 2 more breaths here. One more full, deep, deep breath in before lengthening through your left leg. We'll ground through the right knee, we'll spin the right shin, and peel our way open into side plank. So wrist and shoulder stacking, knees staying grounded. Option 2, you could lengthen through both legs. Wherever you are, there's just 2 breaths. One more, please, before we meet in bear pose once again. One deep breath in and out before lifting your hips high. Finding connection to your core as you gaze to your big toes. And on your next in breath, to the tips of the toes we'll go. Bend our knees, looking towards the back of the mat, walking or hopping. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Rising all the way up. Press your palms, look to your thumbs, hands home, heart center. Finding second round as we breathe in, gently folding as we breathe out. On the in-breath, lifting heads, hearts, before stepping back with our left leg and sitting up for your warrior 2 feet. Do you have heel to heel alignment? Is your knee above your ankle? And then taking your right hand to your right thigh. Reaching up as we breathe in towards the top of your mat. And then easing that arm down and around. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more time, inhaling up and over. And this time we'll pivot and land our left hand towards the earth. Turn your torso powerful through your left leg. And then reaching high with your right arm if it feels good to your body. Stay and breathe for 3. Charging your back leg, iron out the crease of your knee. Option 1, you'll gaze down and you'll stay exactly as you are for 3 more breaths. Variation 2, we're lengthening through our right leg on the in-breath, exhaling to bend again. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time, finding that beautiful hamstring stretch on the in-breath. Exhaling, grounding the hands to the inside. Pivoting towards the top of the mat, finding your skandasana, pressing into the pinky toe side, and then pressing into the hands before looping your left arm into the curve of your lower back, and creating any amount of rotation that your spine will allow. Energize your right leg, energize your core, stay and breathe for 3. One more breath as you are before releasing the hands. Pivot towards the top of the mat. It's a 3-legged down dog you're coming to. Pelvis is level. We do not need to lift this leg high. Option on your next inhalation to lift to the tips of the toes, stacking your shoulders over your wrists. On the out-breath, lower any amount that feels safe. Breathing in and up before releasing back to your down dog. Bear pose, strengthening shoulder stabilizers, core stabilizers. So thinking angry cat between your shoulder blades, lifting the navel towards the spine and engaging through your pelvic floor. Taking one more breath here before sliding your right leg back. Release your left knee and rolling into side plank. Option 1, stay as we are. Variation 2, splitting our stance and gazing up if your neck will allow. Just one more breath before we release the hands and return to bear pose. This final bear pose, option 1, stay stationary. Variation 2, maybe you could touch your hip to one side and then try the other. So opposite hand touching the shoulder as the hip touches the mat, and then return to bear. So you're pivoting on the balls of your feet and returning. Last 4, for 3, for 2, one more time, and landing your knees in child's pose, please. Letting go of your standing sequence, celebrating your efforts. Just taking one more breath as you are. When the time is right, ripple your way forward, However you come to be in a seated position, you might just cross your ankles and sit back, taking your legs forward. And we'll take all three Paschimottanasana. So on your in-breath, reach high, peace fingers, bend your knees as much as you need so you can grip your big toes. We breathe in to reestablish our posture. And then on the exhalation, easing our way in any amount. Remember, you want to feel our hamstring stretches in the belly of the muscle, not in the tendon. So if you're feeling it more so towards the top of your hamstring where it attaches to your pelvis, then I want you to bend your knees a little bit more and press deliberately with your heels down. Take one more breath here. On your in-breath, lift your heads. On the exhalation, pinky toe side, breath in before gently descending again. Drishti is your big toes. You're welcome to release your head. Just two more breaths. On your in-breath, lift your heads and hearts. And the final option is to reach around the soles of the feet. Again, bend your knees as much as you need. Breathe in together. And on your exhalation, gently bow. Just feel all that beautiful length arriving in your hamstrings, across the back of the pelvis, into your lower back. One more breath before we lift our heads and our hearts. We ease our way out of that shape. And we'll come to Janu A with the right foot tucking in. Bend your left knee as much as you need. If your posture will allow, we reach high. And then easing our way in any amount. Please roll your right ribs towards your left inner thigh. Hands resting where they feel best to your body. If you're binding, right hand across the sole of the foot with your left thumb and index finger holding your left wrist. One more breath. And on the in-breath, lifting heads, lifting hearts. Exhaling up and out, Sukhasana with your left leg in front of your right or coming into your half lotus. Please take a moment to really lift through the heart space, open the front of your throat, and then ease your way forward any amount that your body will allow. Surrendering and softening for 3 breaths. One more goodbye breath in and out. On the in-breath, lift your heads and retrace your way up, turning towards your left knee before taking a gentle amount of rotation. Grounding with your left hand, spiraling to look over your left shoulder. Just take 3 breaths here. On your inhalation, returning your eye gaze. On the out-breath, release your twist. If you're in half lotus, come back to Sukhasana with the left in front. And then please ground your feet, ground your hands. On your in-breath, lift your feet. And on your exhalation, see if you can lift your hips. So a little kind of rock back and forth. Inhale to float the legs, shins parallel. Exhale, toes down, hips up. Release. Full breath in. Full breath out. Just one more time, full breath in. And exhale to lift, pause, and hold before releasing down. Right leg long, left foot in, taking a moment to establish your posture. Reaching high, if your body will allow, bend your knee if you need, before easing your way in any amount. Roll your left ribs towards your right inner thigh. Gazing at your right big toe to maintain a little bit of cervical extension. One more breath. On the inhalation, lift your head. And on the out breath, coming out back to Sukhasana. So easy cross leg, right in front of left, or heel to the belly button, toes into the crease of the hip. We'll all take a moment to really open front body as we breathe in. And then easing your way forward any amount as you breathe out. The pelvis will want to roll forward to avoid the sensation. So you'll press with your hands to sink the pelvis backwards. And then explore any more depth that your body says yes, please, to. One more breath. On your inhalation, heads and hearts lift. On the out breath, we walk back, lift the hands again, and turning towards your right knee before left hand finds the right knee. Right hand finds the mat behind you. How tall could you grow? And on the exhalation, really deliberately use your arms with your abdominals. On your inhalation, the eyes return. And on the exhalation, we release the twist. So Sukhasana, right leg in front of left. Pick up the knees, hands halfway. On the in-breath, float your toes. On the exhalation, float your hips. Inhale, little rock back. Exhale, rocking forward. Last two. So strengthening the arms, strengthening the core. One more time, lifting for the in-breath. Exhale, push down to lift up before gently releasing out. Please bring your feet in front, take your arms underneath, tuck your chin, and really open up the back of the body. Sending the breath in between your shoulder blades. Could you send the breath underneath your shoulder blades? One more breath from the base of your skull to the tailbone. And on the in-breath, we'll lift our heads, reach our arms forward, and we'll ripple our way down towards the mat, however we get there. And once you've arrived safely, please just ground your feet so they're hip distance, touching your heels, making sure your feet are equal, and then engaging through pelvic floor and the lower abdominals. So tucking the tailbone, imprinting the spine, and on your inhalation, I'd like for you to roll up through your hips. On the exhalation, let your arms come overhead. On the in-breath, let your arms return. And on the exhalation, ripple your way down. On the inhalation, lifting through the pelvis, feet equal. Exhaling, arms overhead. Inhale to return your arms. And exhaling to come down. This is variation 1. Variation 2, inhaling through the pelvis. As the arms lift, maybe you lift through your right leg. As the arms return, return your foot. And then easing your way down. Everyone rises together on the in-breath. Option 2, lifting through the left leg as the arms come overhead. Returning the arms, returning your left foot before gently easing your way down. Just 2 more of these remaining. So tucking tailbone, feeling strength of glutes and hamstrings. Choosing to keep both legs grounded or to take the right leg high. Gently returning the hands, returning your right foot before rolling down through the spine. This is your last one. Energize through the feet, through the legs, through your core. Staying grounded through both or taking your left leg high before replacing the hands, replacing your left foot, and easing your way down one vertebra at a time. Please gather your knees. Take a gentle rock from side to side. And then I'd like you to roll towards me. So rolling onto your right. Right arm cradles your head. And then reaching for your left ankle, please draw the leg back for a gentle quadricep stretch. Right knee, 90 degrees, right hip, 90 degrees. And as we open up through the front of the left hip, we tuck the tailbone and energize the core. If you would like, right foot could cross above. You're pressing down with the right foot, but you're not allowing the left knee to descend. And then press your pelvis forward as you kick your left foot into your hand, just for 2 more breaths. Gently release the right, gently release the left. And from here, left arm reaches forward. So keep the knees glued together. On your in-breath, we're circling open into a gentle twist. And on the exhalation, just returning that arm. So you might trace the line of the floor, or the hand might find a sticky point where it lifts off. Doesn't matter, just working with your body. We'll do 2 more. So you're just creating a half circle up and over, rolling the heart open, taking your eyes with you, and gently returning back. This is your last one, but I would like for you to stay open. So only as far as you wish, and the arm might be off the floor or it might be anchored, but we're keeping our knees grounded, we're keeping our knees together, and we're maintaining smooth, deep breathing. One more breath in and out, gently, slowly returning the hand. And I'd like for you to use your left hand to push you up and then just swing your legs around. So you're laying on your left side, your left arm's cradling your head, and as soon as you've arrived, you're reaching for your right ankle. Your left knee is at 90, your left hip's at 90, so you've got lots of support. And you're drawing back through the right quadricep until you feel that first little bit of sensation. Option 2, we're hooking left foot above the knee. I'm pressing down, but I'm not allowing the knee to descend. So a little bit of isometric static stretching. So press your pelvis forward, kick your foot into your hand, energize gently through your core and through your right glute for 2 more breaths. We'll restack our knees. We'll reach forward with the right arm. And on the inhalation, we're doing those half circles, opening through the heart space. And on the exhalation, just return. So the fingertips might stay on the floor, they might not, but I don't want you to force anything through the shoulder joint. So moving slowly, mindfully, in your own time for 2 more. So breathing in, opening through the heart, take your eyes with you to the ceiling. And on the exhalation, return the shoulders, return your eyes. This is our last one, and we're going to stay open here. So the knees are at 90, the hips are at 90, and they'll want to lift off the floor, but we're not going to let that happen. We're allowing the torso to turn towards the ceiling with our eyes. And we're feeling this beautiful stretch across the chest and into our spine. Just one more breath before we gently circle our way all the way back down and around, and we'll roll onto our backs here. So once you've arrived safely on your back, please gather your knees to your chest and then separate your knees, but bring your feet together. So I'm holding onto the pinky toe side of my feet. My elbows are encouraging my thighs wide. Chin is in, shoulders are relaxed, and we're finding, hopefully, just some lovely sensation through the inner thigh and the back of the pelvis. Eyes could close, shoulders relaxed, or you could use your abdominals and the strength of your arms to gently draw your feet towards your head towards your feet. Creating a little bit of lumbar flexion at the same time that we're stretching through the inner seam and through those SIJs. Last two. Such a crazy looking posture, but it feels quite divine. And then releasing your head and your shoulders down, and you'll either take happy baby pose or you'll move into shoulder stand. So my happy baby crew, you're going to stay stationary for 5 breaths with your chin in, shoulders relaxed. And then you'll explore a little bit of movement for 5 before opening through the inner seam or returning back to this first shape. If you're moving into shoulder stands, I recommend that you keep your knees bent to begin with and take your feet over top of you so you can get your hands in the right position with your microphone, hopefully not in the way. There we go. So fingertips are facing towards the hips and pinky fingers are on either side of the spine. So you can start with a bent knee. And what I want you to focus on is your elbows and your shoulders are really driving down into the floor to take the load off the neck. So we point the toes, we reach energetically through our legs. The ankles, the knees, the pelvis are stacking. And I can still move my neck and my throat still feels open. So powerful through the legs, powerful through the elbows and the shoulders. Taking one more breath here. And then the transition into plow pose needs to be done very mindfully. So the moment you feel an increase in stretch through your thoracic spine or your neck, just pause there. And again, you can bend your knees if it feels like too much of a load. If your toes find the floor, you can release your hands. But you'll just decide what's best for you. Taking 3 more breaths. Powerful through the legs, powerful through the shoulders. And then Kanapadasana, you could either just bend your knees towards your forehead, or you could cradle your head with your knees squeezing your ears, big toes together. Hands can be on the back or remain on the floor. Just 2 more breaths. And to come safely out of this, return to plow. Use your hands, use your core, skim your legs. And the moment you feel any compromise in your lower back, you'll bend your knees and ground your feet. We'll take our legs long and we'll simply allow ourselves to completely relax here. Feeling this beautiful quality of energy in our bodies that our yoga practice creates. Feeling the physical body relax. And allow your energetic body to relax. And allow your mind to completely relax. Last 3 breaths. So coming back into the mystery and the awe and the wonder of who you are. The magic, the mystery, the wonder of this body, this lifetime. Knowing your infinite worth, that love is the foundation of your being. And when the time is right for you, you'll just invite gentle movement into the fingers, the toes, the thighs, the pelvis, the shoulders, and your necks before sending your arms overhead. Dynamically reach from fingertip to toe before sliding the arms down and around, gathering the knees to your hearts, hugging yourselves lovingly, rocking your bodies very gently. And please roll to the right hand side, lingering for 1 intentional breath before rising up to any seated position that feels good to your body. We're seeking length through the spine, lightness in our hearts as our hands come to prayer position. And our last collective breath together before closing our practice with a bow. Namaste. Have a glorious day, yogis. See you soon.